Living a Safe Universe, the first edition, Chapter 10, A New Definition of Self. It starts with a quote from Seth. I am saying that the individual self must become consciously aware of far more reality, that it must allow its recognition of identity to expand so that it includes previously unconscious knowledge. To do this, you must understand that man must move beyond the concepts of one God, one self, one body, one world, as these are currently understood. The quote comes from Seth, The Unknown Reality, Volume 1, Session 687. A New Definition of Self. So there you have it, the unique pieces of the Seth material I finally came to see as a whole. The whole that changed my life. All that is, action, the spacious present, significances, suggestion, mental acts, the moment point, probabilities, entity, and inner self, trust. These subjects are now one in my mind, one life-giving, life-changing whole. By now, they're so much a part of my thinking, I almost cannot remember how or why I bought so heavily into linear time and the cause and the effect that goes with it. These pieces brought me to the understanding and then the belief that I could live a safe universe. Not one without challenges, but one based on knowledge and trust. And why might this be true, that these pieces could lead to living a safe universe? First, because all of them combined are already an integral part of the self. They simply have not been recognized for their importance to the self or its creation efforts. Yet, not one of them can be eliminated. Without making a self impossible. And since each one is a part of the self, their built-in conditions of creation or propensities toward creation are accessible to the self. Of course, they always were, but now, seen as self, they can be consciously used and directed. Take action, for instance. We now know we are action. And action is the force behind creation. We also know our mental acts are action. And when they reach the strength of expectation/suggestion, they create events and material objects. And we know action can get entangled in its own negativity. And until the entanglement is straightened out, action will continue along the same lines. So do you see how knowing how action works can be to our great advantage if we choose to implement that knowledge? And so it goes with each portion of the self. What, then, is the new definition of ourself? Here's a quick version to be fleshed out later in the book with examples, comments, stories, and tips. But even this version is only words on paper until the magic of it permeates our thinking, until our hearts beat faster at its recognition. To help the magic along, I'll use words up close and personal for each of us in describing this most magical of subjects, our self. Myself redefined. I am part of all that is, from whom I can never be separated. Because I'm a part of all that is, I share its creative abilities and processes. They are gifts of my nature. I am action, the inner vitality of all that is, and am conscious of myself. My consciousness is a focus through which I experience myself, and myself, in complete terms, includes my entity or soul, inner self, and focused personality. I am always all of these because they cannot be separated. I am a part of the spacious present. I cannot be removed from it because it is within all that is as is everything. One of my gifts is my ability to pretend to leave the spacious present. And I do this for my own growth and expansion, or value fulfillment. I define myself through my significance, by what I consider significant for my chosen focus or line of development. My significance is my boundary. It is inviolate. It cannot be breached by another consciousness. I am completely safe within my significance. I psychologically explore my significance through my mental acts, which act as gateways to new experiences within my significance. My moment point is my point of action within my significance. I am in constant communication with my inner self. With its help, I simultaneously create and experience in my moment point a present, a remembered past, and the outline of a future, all called into being by probabilities addressed by my mental acts. My inner self depends on me to furnish the clear mind that allows this to occur without psychological complications that alter our preferred line of development for me. What my inner self needs of me is trust. Trust is what I am learning in my chosen field of significance. And the more I choose trust over doubt and fear, the more my inner self and I grow into our potential. At that point, we are unstoppable.